Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Night Arena. I'm Chris Fly, along with Dawson Weeger, here to call the action for you in tonight's women's basketball matchup between the Royals of Eastern Mennonite University and your Southern Virginia Knights. Dawson, should be an interesting game today.
Absolutely should be that. It's a great rivalry between these two teams, great matchup. I'm excited to see it.
Absolutely. With the Royals from the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, the ODAC, and the Knights from CC, some non-conference play, but still should be a great game between both teams. We saw the Knights take down the Royals earlier in the month of November to the tune of 75-70 in their last matchup. So it was a great game between both teams. And just a little bit more information about that, we have our silent reporter, Kashawn Caudill. Kashawn, we'll toss it over to you.
Hey guys, the Knights won their previous matchup against Eastern Mennonite by a score of 75-70 and were led by sophomore forward Savannah Christensen, in which she tallied her career highs of 17 points and 15 rebounds. The Knights were also led by senior guard Brittany Ballum, in which she tallied 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. I expect Brittany to be the X factor tonight for the Knights because she's seen as a utility player and someone that can do it all for the Knights. Expect her veteran leadership to come up big and be essential for the Knights tonight. Junior guard Corey Stout also came up for the Knights by coming off the bench and scoring 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. So expect her to be huge as well. I also expect senior guard Alexis Barnes to come up big for the Knights and for her to redeem herself from her previous performance against Eastern Mennonite, in which she scored 0 points. I expect her to come up big for the Knights, and I expect her to put on one of her signature performances. Expect all of these players to be big for the Knights tonight, and expect them to get the victory. Dawson, Chris, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kashawn. And with that, Dawson, exciting game between two great teams here, and expect to see a lot of inside play in their last game. Savannah Christensen going off against the Royals with 17 points and 15 rebounds. Expect her to have a great game today.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, as we always say, also expect a great game from Katie Garrett. She's again averaging a double-double. And if I were a betting man, I would bet that she gets another one today because she just gets them so consistently, it's insane.
Absolutely, Katie Garrett. And most of the games of this season having the height advantage, that not being the case today. The Royals of Eastern Mennonite University hosting around 4 players over 6 foot tall. So Katie Garrett, a really dominant player down there to paint, might have a little bit of trouble today. What do you think, Dawson?
I think so, and I think another thing we need to talk about is points per game by these two offenses. Both these teams have pretty efficient offensive systems, but Eastern Mennonite is at a disadvantage average-wise. They average this year 62.4 points per game, whereas the Knights average 77 points a game. Then, of course, last week's game against Clark Summit didn't hurt either after they had the 85-point performance with 59 rebounds. That certainly adds to their average for sure.
Absolutely does. The Knights' last game against Clark Summit beating them by 61 points, an absolute dominating performance from the Knights. And they've been riding the hot hand all season right now on a 4-game winning streak, Dawson. It's at 5-1 on the season. The Royals are 2-5. It looks like on paper the Knights have an advantage here with momentum coming into this game.
Absolutely. And I think that really will help the Knights today is the return of a great point guard, Corey Stout. She hasn't started this season, but she's always been a spark plug of energy. She wasn't in the game last week, not due to injury or anything, but just because she had something she had to take care of. Like she had to go to a friend's wedding in Salt Lake City, Utah. So she's taking care of some good things going on. Now she's back here to help out her team, provide the energy that the team needs from her. It'll be exciting to see her perform today.
Absolutely, should be really exciting. And like you said last game, Corey Stout not being there for the Knights, being really out of the state. In her stead, junior guard Angel Tuisavora led scoring for the Knights. She had 15 points on the game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. So just amazing numbers from Tuisavora in that game. Really led the bench play, and bench play has been a great staple for this Knights team this year. Coach Adam Wardenberg has a variety of weapons. He can put any combination of players he wants into the game, and they'll get the results. Yeah,
and another bench player like you talked about that I'm very impressed with so far is freshman guard Sophie Wright. She had about 13 points, had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, and 13 points is a career high for her. But not so much of the points that I was impressed with is her maturity on the court. She had so many passes that looked like passes that came from a junior or a senior guard. Very experienced, very efficient, and accurate passes that I was very impressed to see for sure.
Absolutely. The basketball IQ of this Knights team is extremely high. When there's an opportunity on the fast break to either go up with it or take the pass, almost 90% of this team, they'll take that pass. They know that if they pass the ball, they have an easier opportunity for 2 points. There's no selfishness on this Knights team, and it's great to watch. And it's part of that championship mentality that Coach Adam Wurtenberg has instilled in his camp. Just great to watch this team play. Really fun team to watch play. The practices are intense. Coach Adam Wurtenberg is intense, and this team responds gratefully to that intensity.
They really do, and I think another thing when you talk about intensity is when this arena gets full and we get students that are rowdy and loud and in support of their Knights team, it's a hard place to play. And if you look at Eastern Mennonite, they're winless on the road. And so it'll be interesting to see how they handle the tight quarters of Knight Sports Arena as well as the energy that these students bring into this place. Absolutely.
The Knight Sports Arena, one of the toughest places to play really in the country, and especially in the CAC. No small task for the Royals of Eastern Mennonite University, especially in their last game, lost to Guilford 62-57. So they've had only a one-game losing streak, winning previous game to that against Virginia Wesleyan, but haven't done too great on the season so far, boasting a record of 2-5. Coming into a really hard place to play against a really smart and proficient team. Should be a tough game for the Royals, but we'll see how they react.
Absolutely, and some people to look out for the Royals are sophomore guard number 15, Emily McComb. She averages about 11.6 points per game. And also senior forward number 13, Jess Washington. And Jess Washington, she stands at 5'10". She's their main forward, and she is a senior this year. She's from Chesapeake, Virginia. And again, she's just a very efficient player. It'll be nice to see that matchup between her and Katie Garish. Katie Garish in that matchup having a height advantage there. But again, it'll be an interesting matchup for sure.
Absolutely, Dawson. Just one more point needed to be made. Both head coaches coming in this game. It's their first season as head coaches of their respective teams. Interesting to see what Coach Adam Wurtenberg of the Knights instills in his girls tonight, and what head coach Jenny Logan instills in her girls for the Royals tonight. And with that, that's enough for us. We'll take a little bit of break, and we'll bring you back at tip-off. Welcome to the Knights Sports Arena. This is the Knights Sports Network. We'll see you at tip-off.
Your attention, please. Welcome to the Knight Sports Arena at Southern Virginia University for today's women's basketball Capital Athletic Conference matchup featuring the Royals of Eastern Mennonite and your Southern Virginia University Knights. President Wilcox and the Southern Virginia staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, they ask you to respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity or any racist or sexist remarks. No personal remarks toward players, coaches, or officials. Show that you know the game. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we'll begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Mariah Hill.
Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful for this time that we have to come together and play basketball, and we ask a special blessing on both teams that no harm or injury will come upon them. We are so grateful for our many blessings and for this time to be at SVU. We pray for the Spirit to be with us as we continue this night. We love you so much and say these things in Jesus Christ, amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem, which will be played by the SVU Pep Band. And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Royals of Eastern Mennonite. At guard, senior number 2.
Welcome back to the Knight Arena. Chris Fly here along with Dawson Woodring bringing you the action. Just the starting lineups being announced for both teams at this moment.
Yeah, that's right. Number 2, Lindsay Kursak, senior guard. We also number 13, Jess Washington, one leaders in scoring for the Royals. We also number 15, Emily McCombs, the leading scorer, who scored 18 points against the Knights last time, as well as number 22, Lexi Diffenbaugh, a junior from Fisherville, Virginia.
Now the starting lineup for your Knights.
I always love this light show, Chris. It's always very fun. They do such a good job here at this facility for this.
Always the greatest atmosphere here at the Knight Arena. Starting for the Knights, number 12, Brindy Ballum at guard. Also starting for the Knights, freshman point guard, number 13, Dawn Mead. She's done great for the team this year. And the menace against this Royals team last time they met, number 21, Savannah Christian, had a great game against the Royals last game. She's hoping to have another one today.
Absolutely she is.
Senior guard, also starting for the Knights, number 23, Alexis Barnes. Such a threat from deep and on the drive. And the leading scorer for the Knights, their bread and butter, the person they go to on every play, number 40, Katie Garish.
And as we mentioned before, she's averaging a double-double. And this team just has so many different players that play such vital roles. Katie Garish is the all reliable, basically. And then you have Alexis Barnes, who's the spark plug of energy. She is probably the most emotional and the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I think it's competitive person out there every single time.
Alexis Barnes definitely has the heart that Coach Adam Warburg loves to see in his players. And the great thing about this team, we've said it before, every player is so interchangeable. Just so much talent on this Knights team and at Coach Adam Warburg's disposal. Just amazing to watch them play basketball and just put anyone in. And they always play their brand. Really exciting to see.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We talk about the great amount of players. That's the first quarter of last week's game. The bench had half their points.
Absolutely. They have 46, averaging 46, or had 46 bench points last game against Clark Summit. And the Knights getting off to a great start. Katie Garish getting it immediately and putting it into the basket for 2. Expect to see that all night, Dawson.
Absolutely. They try to get to her early and often to establish that rhythm with Katie Garish.
And we see a steal from Alexis Barnes. She's open on the fast break. Puts it up, no good. Pressured by number 5, Chrissy DeLauder.
Just put it up a little bit too strong, thinking that she's being pursued, which was correct, but lost that touch there at the end.
What the Royals can do on their second chance on offense. Corner 3 from McCombs. No good. Offensive rebound by the Royals, though. Second chance opportunity. Travel call down on the low blocks. That's against Chrissy DeLauder.
And talking about three-pointers and McCombs, Emily McCombs, she was 50% from the three-point line, last time they met. 4 of 8, so she did a tremendous job there.
Absolutely did. Now we see back into Garish, but Garish not able to convert on that one. Like you were saying, now we see a steal from Katie Garish. Put up by Ballum and put off the window for 2. Going back to that point I was trying to say, Dawson, last game when the Knights faced off against the Royals, McCombs went off for 18 points. Had a phenomenal game, and like you said, shot 4 of 8 from 3-point. The Knights definitely want to keep that under check. She's quite a sharpshooter from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and they want to keep playing that great defense. They let Jess Washington off the hook there with that jumper, but then you keep playing that suffocating defense they started to play early on in this game.
See the Knights on offense. Beautiful move by Ballum. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I think they caught number 15, Emily McCombs, for that one. And Brittany Ballum, the nice behind-the-back dribble to get herself free. Great play.
Great move, but more importantly, got a foul on McCombs, leading scorer for this Royals team this entire season. Definitely get her into the foul trouble early if you're Coach Adam Wardenberg.
Yeah, one thing that the Knights did in their last game against Clark Summit is they got 5 fouls called on Clark Summit early on the first quarter. And so they're at the free throw line early and very often.
Now we see the Royals bringing down the ball. This opportunity on offense. Quick drive in. Regain possession back to the top of the key. Trying to get it in to DeLauder. No good. It's over her head and out of balance for the Knights.
Yeah, that ball really sailed on Lindsay Krisak of the Royals. She was trying to get into the post, but Katie Garrish right there, and in order to avoid it, she just threw it way too high.
Knights on offense now. This is Barnes. Barnes drives in, puts it up. It'll fall for 2.
Had a little bit of a clutch on that layup. She went up, brought back down, went back up with a very athletic play from Alexis Barnes.
Passes it down low. Had to go to bounds, but it'll stay with the Royals. Trying to get into number 13, Jess Washington, but played by Garrish.
Yeah, I think they're saying the ball came off of Katie Garrish's body. And great inbound defense there, goodness.
Katie Garrish, not only a great offensive threat, a formidable defender, standing at 6'3". It's just no one really is on her high level at all. She always has the height advantage, and she just knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she just gets blocks consistently per game, and it's always at the right moment that she gets blocks. It's always at moments where they could take the momentum back.
That was a drive in by Kamara of the Royals. No good. Rebounded by the Knights. Now being brought up by Dawn Mead. Dawn Mead leading this Knights team in three-point percentage this year, shooting right around 40%.
And the Knights doing exactly what they need to do early on, getting it to Katie Garrish. She's been available. That's 2 times she's been successful. The 3rd time, she was just too far underneath the basket and ended up getting it back anyway, but.
And the Royals make their first three-pointer of the game. That was shot by number 2, Lindsay Krisak. Tried to get into Garrish, but Garrish can't handle it. Royals have an opportunity here on the fast break. Pass it into Washington. Washington puts it up for an easy 2.
Yeah, the Royals starting to get a little bit of a spark here, now finding themselves only down by 3.
That pass from Dawn Mead knocked into the air and out of bounds by the Royals' stiff defense. But Knights have a second opportunity here. Dawn Mead handling the ball yet again, gives it up to Christensen. Corner 3 from Ballum. No good. Rebounded by the Royals, now being brought up by McCombs.
Yeah, that was just way too strong. And talk about Dawn Mead leading the team in three-point percentage. She's averaging, she has 44% on the year.
McCombs no good on her second try, but rebounded by Washington. Picked up by Ballum. Just hear Coach Adam Wernberg telling his girls to slow down, play their brand of basketball, no need to hurry.
Absolutely very true. Now changing the play here. I like how they slowed that down, like you just said, Chris. How Coach called the play, the Knights stepped back a little bit and said, hey, what do we got here? Let's work with what we have.
The Knights will get an opportunity here to inbound the basketball. Ball being thrown in by Alexis Barnes. Alexis Barnes, the senior guard from Oceanside, California. Gets it in, and Savannah Christensen with a quick 3.
Christensen's another one that can shoot the 3. She is tied for second for best three-point percentage this season, and she can hit them easily if she's open enough.
And no one knows that better than the Royals of Eastern Mennonite. Last time they met, Savannah Christensen going off for 17 points, had 15 rebounds. That was the game that solidified her to get CSC Player of the Week.
Yeah, with that foul, Emily McCombs finds herself already with 2 fouls in this first quarter.
That's exactly what the Knights want to see. The Knights just making substitutions now. Coming to the bench, number 23, Alexis Barnes, and in her stead, number 20, Amanda Wood in the game for the Knights. And Amanda Wood, a really great three-point shooter for this Knights team. Averages around 7 points a game, but most of those points she gets, she doesn't really drive the ball too much. It's all basically three-pointers.
Yeah,
Ballum driving in.
Yeah, a great shot there you see by Ballum. But you talk about Amanda Wood in three-point shooting in their game against Bryn Mawr here at Knight Sports Arena. She had like 4 straight three-pointers in that fourth quarter of that game. And so that's just a simple example of what she can do from the three-point line.
Washington from the elbow, gains her own rebound. Has it up, Royals put it up again. It won't fall either, rebounded by Ballum and the Knights.
That second chance came because 4 Knights defenders were right underneath the basket for the rebound. And what my coaches used to say, if you shoot long, you miss long. And so if you're too far into the basket, you're not going to get that rebound.
Dawn Mead trying to take a 3 right off the screen from Garrish. It'll bounce off the iron and go out of bounds. The immediate timeout taken on the court here. Give both coaches an opportunity to talk to their teams. And Dawson, if you were Coach Adam Wernberg, you're up right now 15-7. Anything you would improve on your game right now?
I think you just got to keep it doing exactly what they're doing right now. They're playing very tight defense, very good with their hands, getting a lot of steals and rebounds. I think I would just improve what we just saw last defensive possession. Box out more, get out to players and box them out rather than going right underneath the basket, because then it just allows Eastern Mennonite to get those rebounds and get second chance shots. And that's why SVU won their game last week against Clark Summit, was because they had more second chance opportunities. Granted, they also had a lot of other stuff going for them, that 61-point blowout, but that was the main thing that separated them from Clark Summit.
That last game against Clark Summit, the Knights tallied, I believe it was 59 rebounds on the game. Absolutely amazing job on the low blocks to grab those rebounds and get second chance points. We've seen some great opportunities for the Royals this game in second chance points. They've grabbed a few offensive rebounds so far. See if the Knights can box out a little bit better and just tune it up on defense.
Absolutely, but again, if you're Coach Wardenberg, again, you're very pleased with what's going on, but you want them to keep the intensity. There was times in last week's game, again, against Clark Summit, where that intensity just wasn't there. Granted, they were winning by a lot, but you want to keep that intensity consistently, especially in a game against such a competitive team as the Royals.
Absolutely. Now we see the Royals taking the ball up the floor. This is number 13. This is Jess Washington. Now this is Washington. Washington trying to take it in, relieves it. Quick shot goes up, foul call. Going to the line now, number 10, Precious Waddy of the Royals.
Looks like they called that on Dawn Mead. I think you can make a double argument there. You could probably say, well, maybe she touched her a little bit, but you could also say she maybe got her hand on the ball. Kind of a pick and choose that one for the refs.
See some new Knights faces coming to the game right now. Number 25, Malia Dye, had a great showing in their last game against Clark Summit. Also coming in for the Knights, number 11, Corey Stout. See what Waddy does in her second chance at the line. That one off the back iron, rebounded by Christensen.
And you see the Royals almost had another second chance opportunity because everybody just ran straight to the basket. You got to break that habit as a basketball player. It's so easy to get sucked in, but you got to break that.
Corey Stout with a pull-up J.
That's the spark plug I'm telling you she is. She comes in and immediately takes her shot. She's not afraid to take the shots that she has open.
Royals passing it around now. Drive on in. Blocked by Christensen. Great defensive showing from the sophomore from Hawaii.
What's great about that play is if it wasn't going to be Christensen, it was going to be Corey Stout, or it was going to be Amanda Wood. There was 3 defenders there that could have gotten that block. Christensen just happened to get her hand on it.
Stolen from the inbound by Corey Stout and the Knights. Corey being pressured. Timeout taken by Coach Adam Werdenberg as Corey Stout being pressured in her own side of the court.
Yeah, it's a great timeout there. You want to make sure that you don't risk losing any momentum that you have going for you right now. You just get a steal. You don't want that to go right away, because what happens is if you have a great play and it amounts to nothing, that takes away energy from you and your bench that sometimes in games you just can't get back. And so you want to conserve that as much as possible. That was simply a momentum keeper timeout for Coach Wardenberg.
Absolutely. Great job to gain the momentum by Corey Stout on that play, just grabbing the inbound pass basically right out of the air. The junior guard from Murray, Utah, always knows where to be on the court, always knows what to do. They're a great spark plug like you've so kindly called her, but just a great player in general for the Knights team. Now we see Stout bringing the ball up for this Knights offensive possession. This is Amanda Wood.
That step through pass, beautiful.
Ballum goes up with the right hand. That shot was destined to be off, and now the Royals on the fast break. This is Waddy. Shot goes up. No good. Rebounded by the Royals. Put back up. Rebounded again by the Royals. And that one will fall after 2 second chance opportunities for Eastern Mennonite.
It's the second chance points. I mean, you might look at it now and say, oh, it's just 2 points. But 2 points every now and then because of second chance rebounds adds up. And it could add up to them taking the lead eventually.
Christensen with a corner 3. No good. Picked up by Amanda Wood and the Knights. This is Ballum now. Stout trying to work it into Malia, dive, but that'll go off the foot of number 23, Lexi Dean of the Royals.
And we talked a lot about Emily McCombs for the Royals early on in this game. So far, near the end of this first quarter, she has been held scoreless. She is 0 for 2 from three-point land. I mean, she does have 2 rebounds and an assist, but is scoreless so far.
And the fact that she's in foul trouble might contribute a little bit to that fact. Coach Logan not wanting to put her in and get her in some significant foul trouble because they'll need her later in the game. You see a turnover there by the Knights, now picked up by the Royals. This ball will be brought up forward by Waddy, now passes it up. Three-pointer is good. That is number 2, Lindsay Krisak.
And you notice number 14 in for the Knights. That is Sophie Wright, the one I talked about so much, and she has such great passing ability. We'll see what she does with that today.
The 3 by Wood, no good. And now the Royals have an opportunity on the fast break. Shot goes up and in the basket. This will be an and one opportunity. Walking to the line now, number 11, Kiana Childress of the Royals. Great fast break point. Take the contact and put it in the basket.
And just like that, you see Katie Garish coming back in because she just has such a presence on the court that is intimidating for this Royals team, whether they like to admit it or not. And so we'll see her add some momentum back to the Knights side.
The and one opportunity is good, and now the Knights only up by 1 point right now, 17-16 after this scoring run by the Royals.
Yeah, they've scored 8 straight right now.
Knights working the ball around on offense. Wood trying to get it in to Garish. Garish unable to gain possession. It'll go off of Garish and belong to the Royals.
Some of the Knights fans saying that a Royal defender got in there and smacked it out of Katie Garish's hands, but nevertheless it'll go to the Royals.
Drive in by the Royals, blocked by Katie Garish. Now Sophie Wright for the Knights, puts it up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Garish, put off the window for 2.
That is a complete play if I've ever seen one. Katie Garish is straight up blocking that shot, and this Knights arena really went wild for it, and then she finishes off with a layup.
Great two-way play by Garish, but now the Knights having to get back for defense as the Royals trying to make something happen. That's good, and that's called for 3. Might have had a foot on the line. Referee's called a three-pointer, and now we're tied up at 19-19.
Yeah, that was Chrissy DeLauder with that one.
Sophie Wright with the drive. Ball stripped by the Royals, and now the Royals have it. This is Krisak. Quick drive in. Trying to pass it in to number 21, Friend. Another 3, no good. Over the back call against number 11, Kiana Childress of the Royals. Great box out by Corey Stout.
Yeah, she went over the back of Corey Stout, which again, because of her lack of height, is very easy to do. It's very tempting to just simply reach over and grab it just because you can.
See what the Knights can do on offense now. Is Corey Stout taking charge of this Knights team. Wright trying to get into Garish. Garish able to corral it. No good on the shot attempt. Rebounded by the Royals. This is Krisak.
She just didn't have enough control of that shot when she went up with it. She had 2 defenders draped all over her. She couldn't bring it down at all to collect herself.
Tried to pass it in, looking for DeLauder. Couldn't find her. It goes inbound. Knights ball with 21 seconds left to go in this quarter.
So you're looking to see a press here from Eastern Mennonite. So the Knights will have to go into a press break offense. Look to see them flash some people in the middle of the court like Sophie Wright just did.
Great way to get out of the trap there by the Knights. Corey Stout now with the ball. Final 10 seconds of the first quarter. Corey Stout from the elbow. No good. The Knights will get another opportunity on offense with 0.9 of a second left on the clock.
It's hard to get a shot off that fast, or at least a consistent looking shot that fast. So we'll see if they just throw something up here.
That's Stout. Stout heaves it up. No good, and that'll end the first quarter. Teams tied up 19-19.
This is about what we expected to see in this game. It's such a tight one. I mean, the Knights took an early 8, at some points 9-point lead. The Royals made a little comeback just because of the offensive ability that they have. Definitely did not expect for the Knights to to continue with a larger lead rather than of 8. But again, the Knights, early on in the first quarter of their last game, had ended the first quarter with a 13-3 run. This time it's Eastern Mennonite having that long run at the end of the first quarter. So interesting flip of the script here.
Absolutely. The Royals been a little bit of a scoring run towards the end of that first quarter, but interesting stat here, Dawson. The Royals out-rebounded the Knights 10-6, and with the height advantage the Knights have with Katie Garish down low on the blocks, how can you explain something like that?
Well, it goes by boxing out. When you go up against a taller opponent like Katie Garish, you have to box out. I know plenty of people who were under 6'5" who've guarded 7-footers before and have out-rebounded them just because they get low, they work harder on the defense, and it just makes it so much harder for the tall person to rebound.
See both teams making their way to the floor right now. Interesting to know what Coach Adamberg told his girls during that quarter break. This quarter will start with the Royals on offense.
I like to think that Coach Warnberg said, hey, we need to calm down, keep playing our game of basketball. We expected a tight game like this. Let's keep playing tough and keep playing defensively like we have.
This is Kresak. Defenball with the ball now, passes back out to Kresak. Washington goes up. It'll be a foul call on the play against Savannah Christensen. It'll send Washington to the line for an opportunity for 2.
I think she had her hand on the ball there as number 13, Jess Washington, was going up for the shot. And then at the last second when Washington went up, maybe Savannah Christensen got her wrist a little bit and drew the foul.
Washington's first attempt no good. We'll keep it 19-19. Washington goes 0 for 2 from the line. Line violation here against the Knights. It'll give Washington a second chance at the line.
You saw Katie Garish, she's barely maintaining her balance. She was going to go, and then she was nearly falling and felt the last second over the line.
And that will find its way in, and the Royals will take their first lead of the game, 20-19 in favor of the Royals.
Now the hard thing about this offense with Katie Garish, they need to make sure that they keep getting in the paint. And it's so hard because it's so predictable. You know, it's so easy to say, oh, we're just going to get to Katie Garish, but you have to pass it to her first. And the opposing defense knows that. And, you know, we're talking about inside the paint. The Knights in the first quarter, half their points came from inside the paint. That's helped them to have that early on lead.
Absolutely, Dawson. I think what you said there is why it makes it so frustrating for opposing teams and coaches to play against Katie Garish, because you know the ball is going to go to her, but it doesn't matter. You can put 3 girls on her. As soon as she gets the ball, she's going to go up, and if she misses the first chance, she won't miss the second. She's great at offensive rebounding. Just a really great player for this Knights team. A little predictable, but it doesn't matter. She gets the job done. See the Knights having a little trouble there. Now, a travel call against Lexi Dean, number 23 of the Royals, saving grace there for the Knights as they turned the ball over.
Yeah, Alexis was trying to get a dart pass into Katie Garish, but just sailed over everyone's hands that was in the paint. I like the idea, though.
Dawn Mead inbounding the ball. This is Alexis Barnes. Goes up, and she is blocked. Picked up by Washington, and the Royals now being brought up by Waddy.
That was the freshman Lexi Dean on that block. Her standing at 6'1".
Fadeaway, no good. Rebounded by Christensen, and a jump ball call here on the play. It'll belong to the Knights.
That was a very fast jump ball call, but either way it would have gone to the Knights, because if they didn't call a jump ball, Christensen was going to come out with it.
Knights regain the lead 21-20. 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Barnes feeds it into Garish. No good. Broke by number 22, Lexi Defenball.
That's predictability that kind of scares this Knights team. Once people figure out their rhythm and what they want to do getting into Katie Garish, another defender will come sweeping underneath and then take away that pass.
That 3 no good. Rebounded by Barnes. Knights on offense now. Ballum was fouled on that play. Fouled by number 10, Precious Waddy.
Yeah, that's an easy one. She got just a little bit too close, just trying to reach inside, and then tripped Ballum a little bit. Very easy call for the ref to make.
Substitution made by Coach Adam Wurdenberg. Amanda Wood coming in for Alexis Barnes. To Christensen. Christensen went up for the shot, but elected to pass it out to Dawn Mead. Dawn Mead unable to convert on that open opportunity. And now the Royals on offense. This is Childress. Childress then on Washington. Katie Garish able to break up that pass.
That's some great hands by Katie Garish. The one hand getting that into her body, that was very impressive.
Now Amanda Wood for three. No good, but rebounded by Ballum. Ballum trying to get it back out to Christensen. It'll go on the floor. It'll be a foul. On the floor, see who it's on. It fouls on number 23 of the Royals, Lexi Dean. First foul on the freshman.
Yeah, I think they're saying that that Dean was diving at the legs of Christensen, therefore drawing that foul.
Pass into Christensen. Christensen goes up. No good. Rebounded by Garish. Rebounded again by Garish. Be a foul on the play, and she'll go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, Christensen tried that fadeaway shot, but like you said, Katie Garish oftentimes just by herself gets second chance opportunities, and this free throw is a good example of that.
Garish's first shot is good. Bring the score 22-20 in favor of Southern Virginia. And she'll convert both of them. 23-20 now.
This Knights team does a good job with free throw efficiency and make sure they knock them down in important times.
Waddy bringing up the ball for the Royals now. Lexi Dean has the ball.
That was impressive with Dean. She was running towards the paint, had to reach back, grab it one-handed, and then bring it back. That was an impressive catch for sure.
And Waddy with the drive, a floater. Good for two, score 23-22.
I'm really surprised that shot went over the rim. That's such little arc, it just kind of snuck in there.
Knights on offense now. This is Stout. Great pass from Christensen into Garish. Garish can't convert on the easy layup. Had two Royal defenders draped over her back there. But great pass from Christensen.
Everyone in this arena, including myself, thought that that was going in.
Shot by Jordan Friend, no good. Rebounded by the Knights.
But again, love the in the paint pass by Christensen. She just spun it right in there.
Christensen three, no good. Rebounded by Amanda Wood of the Knights. Now the Knights with a second chance opportunity here. Christensen drives in towards the basket. Finds Ballum for the corner three. No good. Rebounded by Garish. Garish tried to put it up immediately. She's fouled on the play.
That was very smart. She knew that if she put up the shot, the hand would be right there to draw the foul. Very smart play by the sophomore.
And that foul is on number 23, Lexi Dean, the second foul on the freshman tonight. Really the only player on this Royals team that can compare to Katie Garish height-wise, standing at 6'1".
Yeah, that could come dangerous. If she gets into foul trouble and all of a sudden they don't have anybody to match up one-on-one with Katie Garish, that could become problematic.
See some substitutes coming in for the Royals now. A little bit of a smaller lineup. Tallest player they have in now is Chrissy DeLauder at 5'10". See if the Knights take a little bit of advantage of that and try to get it into Garish just a little bit more.
And she missed both those free throws, both those in and out. That's a tough trip to the line.
The leading scorer for the Royals back in the game, number 2, Lindsay Krisak. Krisak has 6 points on the game so far. And blocked by Garish.
Katie Garish literally said, no, not in here. Get that out. And gave the ball to the student section here.
Best part was the way she acted after, like nonchalant, like, oh, that's no big deal, just a block. Just don't come in my paint again. See, Krisak with the three, no good. Rebounded by Ballum.
She almost got her hand on that one, too.
Knights on offense. This is Barnes. Ballum trying to cut it in. It'll be a jump ball call here. Looks like it'll be in favor of the Royals. Possession arrow pointing that way.
Kiana Childress had some great hands defensively there. Got her hand in there, snuck it out of Ballum's hands. A great job by the Royals.
Royals on offense. Kresak against Barnes. Quick drive in. Pass back out to Kresak.
Who almost had a little bit of a jump there by DeLauder.
DeLauder for three. No good. Rebounded by the Royals. Rebounded by the Royals yet again. DeLauder with a second, another chance.
There was 3 Knights players there on that first rebound, and none of them came down with it. That's got to be frustrating for Coach Wardenberg to see.
Definitely has to be, but the Royals not able to convert on the 2 second chance opportunities. Now the Knights on offense here. Alexis Barnes with a corner three. No good. Rebounded by Ballum. Put back up. She's fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
All the 3-point shots for the Knights tonight have been way too strong, way too far beyond the rim. And so they got to find a way to make sure they just get that sweet spot. You know, it's so easy to think, oh, that's a far ways away. You know, they overemphasize the distance and they shoot it too far. That's what everybody's doing right now.
And that last foul call on number 2, Lindsay Kresak of the Royals. Her first one of the night. But she's the leading scorer for this Royals team so far. She's done a great job of facilitating the offense. Hasn't spent too many minutes in, but is able to been, she's converted on most of the shots she's taken.
Right, talking about leading scorers, we got Katie Garish and Brittany Ballum for the Knights. Katie Garish with 10 points, Ballum with 6. And then he talked about, I believe it was number 2, Kresak, they talked about 6 points. It was Jess Washington with 5. And then DeLauder with 3, who just made that 3-pointer a little bit ago. And if you're looking at this, you're liking what you're seeing. Again, Katie Garish having success in the paint, scoring in the paint anyway. But you like to see everyone else get more involved in the scoring. Last game against Clark Summit, the Knights had everybody that touched the floor except for one girl score. And so you got to get everybody else involved and make sure that they have create opportunities for everybody else to get shots off. So that takes a little pressure off of Katie Garish.
Absolutely, but Katie Garish with the hot hand right now. So if Coach Adam Wernerberg, you want to ride that as long as you can. She's 2 rebounds away from a double-double this game, and it's only 4 minutes left to go in this first half. See what Ballum does with the 2 opportunities at the line. First one is good, brings the score 24-22.
And we just got input too that as talking about the Royals being close in this game and what they've been doing, the second chance opportunities we mentioned so many times, the Royals have 6 offensive rebounds so far in this half, which makes it difficult for the Knights to keep playing defense, because defense in basketball is the most tiring part of it all by far than anything else. And so if you're forced to play defense longer than the normal shot clock, it tires you out super fast. People underestimate how tiring it makes you, but it's exhausting.
Absolutely does. That's why it's so great for Adam Wernerberg to have so many players that he has trust in. So when someone gets tired, you can just put in another one, and there's no change on the court. See the Knights on offense now. Corey Stout for 3. Got it!
Tell you what, it's that fearlessness that she shows. She's not very tall. She doesn't give very many shot opportunities, so when she sees an opening, she takes it.
Knights have struggled so far from 3, but that one hopefully opening the dam here, hoping for more to come, as now we see the Royals on offense. 3 of their own. That one falls. Made by number 3, Constance Kamara.
And so that puts the Royals at 4 for 9 shooting from the 3-point line. Or 4 for 10, excuse me, shooting at 40%.
Now Barnes for 3. No good. Rebounded by Royals' Lexi Deffenbaugh. Stolen out of the air by Corey Stout, and now the Knights on a fast break opportunity. This is Ballum. Pass to Malia Dye. Dye puts it in for 2.
That was a good pass / screen there. You see that she was dribbling towards a defender, and as she passed to Malia Dye, she got in the defender's way, so she couldn't get in Dye's shooting sight.
Great job there by Corey Stout to get that steal leading toward the fast break points. That's her second steal right out of the air, right out of a pass.
One thing I'm really liking to see from the Knights right now is they're playing very disciplined defense right now. As you see by the bottom of your screen, the 5 fouls on Eastern Mennonite, whereas the Knights have only committed 1.
Another ball stolen from Corey Stout. This one to be poked out of bounds by Kresak, but great work from Corey Stout, the junior from Murray, Utah, just wreaking havoc on the defensive end.
Just like a free safety out there in the basketball court. You know, she'll try to get these long passes, get it down the court fast, which is what you want to do if you're trying to outsmart the defense or at least get down there faster. But Corey Stout isn't fooled. She's eyeing it. She's like a ball hawk out there, just waiting for something to come towards her, and she's going to go get it.
Absolutely. I think that last play got her a little bit tired. She heads to the bench. 2 players in for the Knights. Savannah Christensen back in for this Knights team. Also Katie Garish trying to get it into Garish. Stolen by the Royals, now being dribbled up by number 22, Lexi Deffenball. Kamara's shot is no good. It'll fall to the Knights.
And with that rebound there, now even in rebounds with 18 apiece. So starting to see the Knights doing a better job at boxing out and getting those defensive rebounds.
Great move by Baum to find Barnes, but Barnes will lose the ball on her way to the basket. Turned over by the Knights and an opportunity for the Royals.
And you talk about key aspects of the game. I see a steal right here.
Shot goes up, no foul call on the play. Put back up by Christensen. Christensen grabs her own rebound yet again. Coach Adam Winterberg just slowing down his girls at this point, getting a play started. This is freshman point guard Dawn Mead with the ball. Beautiful pass into Garish. Garish not able to get it, now to get it again. Grabs her own rebound yet again.
There was 4 defenders on her as she was getting those 2 rebounds. And before that fast break, I was going to mention the turnover so far in this game. We talked about the Knights needing to control the ball, and right now they're doing a better job than Eastern Mennonite is. The Royals have 14, whereas the Knights only have 9 so far.
And Katie Garish already collecting that double-double she's been averaging on the season, has 10 points, 11 rebounds.
Didn't take her long, did it?
Absolutely not. Only in the first half, so great showing by Garish. As now the Royals are on offense.
Now she just needs to get 10 assists in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and we'll see if that can happen.
See if the triple-double is in store for Garish. It's now the block, a dual block by a host of Knights. Savannah Christensen and Katie Garish meeting that ball at the summit. And now the Knights have an opportunity on offense.
Forget assists. How about a triple-double with blocks?
Why stop at a triple-double? If you get the blocks, go for the assists and get a quadruple-double. Should be a great night for Katie Garish. Averaging a double-double on the season and has her double-double of the night. And now we see Dawn Mead on the line for the Knights. Dawn Mead, first attempt is good.
It's been impressive to see in the 2nd quarter how the Knights have been able to collect themselves despite the run that the Royals had and make sure that they take control of what they can control and take back that lead, now winning by 4 points.
30 seconds left to go in this first half. Royals have the ball. This is Waddy. Waddy met one-on-one by Ballum of the Knights. Shot goes up from Waddy. No good. Rebounded by Mead. 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Ball's into Ballum. Christensen for 3. Oh, no good. Almost with a picturesque 3 to end the first half. First half ends. Southern Virginia Knights 31. The Royals of Eastern Mennonite 27.
Man, I tell you what, that shot was so close. Everyone in the stadium wanted that to go in. It was such an open opportunity for Christensen. But again, just a little bit too sharp of a shot, too low arching.
Absolutely, and right now we have our sideline reporter, Kashawn Cardle, standing alongside with Coach Adam Wernerberg. Kashawn, what do you have for us?
Coach, you guys are only shooting 29% from the field. What are some things you guys can do to work on getting better shot selection going into the second half?
You know, I don't think it's a problem with our shot selection. I really just think that we're just missing our layups and we're not hitting our open threes. I mean, we're getting the shots we want. I just told them in our last time out, there's not one shot that I wouldn't agree with right now. It's just we're just not making them. And, I mean, defensively we're doing great. Just offensively it'll come. We're fine.
Katie Garish had 10 points in that first half. How important are her contributions going to be for the rest of the way?
Oh, they're going to be huge. We're going to keep throwing her the ball. We're still going to play inside. We think we got a little bit of advantage in there. And like I said earlier, we just got to finish our layups and we're fine.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much, Kashawn. Great insight there from Coach Adam Werderberg. Dawson, the Knights up 31-27 at the end of that first half. Had some great showings on the low post. Had struggled a little bit from three. What can they do to move the ball a little bit better?
I think they're moving the ball pretty well. I feel like that they're doing a lot better passing than they've been doing the past previous games. They've been looking before passing, which is a big problem in the past few games. They just decided, like, hey, here. And there was a defender there instead of their own player. And so they're doing a better job with that. I think they need to lose predictability in the post. We will talk more about that at the halftime, or the halftime report. But they need to be less predictable in ways that get it to Katie Garish. I mean, I've talked about this all half. I'm all about creativity. You know, you got to figure out ways to surprise this Eastern Mennonite defense. Because if they're not surprised, they're going to end up having 4 girls on her, like you saw in the last few plays for the Knights.
Absolutely, Dawson. It's a 4-point game here at the Knight Arena in Buena Vista, Virginia. We thank you so much for joining us for the first half. We'll bring you back when halftime ends, when some more action starts. Thank you so much for joining us on the Knight Sports Network, and we'll see you after halftime. Welcome back to the Knight Arena as our coverage of tonight's women's basketball matchup continues. I'm Chris Fye along with Dawson Wiedrich. Knights up 31-27 against the Royals in this game. Dawson, we've seen some poor shooting from the Knights, but we've also seen some great defensive stops from the Knights. What's the key for the Knights' victory tonight? We've seen some great plays by the Knights. We've seen Katie Garish really go off in that first half. She had 10 points and she had 12 rebounds, so she has more rebounds than she has points, but offensive rebound have been a problem for the Knights. It's been great for them, but also been a great against them. The Royals having great success on the offensive side with getting second chance opportunities and getting it back up for points.
Yeah, absolutely, and forgive me folks, technical difficulties here, but as I was saying, you talk about the offensive rebounds. Eastern Mennonite was able to take advantage of that early on. They had 6 offensive rebounds that led to their points. And then I was going to talk about the scoring percentage or shooting percentage before technical difficulties, but the Knights, statistically wise, shooting pretty poorly right now. 2 of 11 from three-point line, 18%, and then 29% from the field. And so they're just trying to get those quality shots to get them back into a rhythm. And of course, offensive rebounds and second chances help, like Katie Garish is doing. And also the thing that Eastern Mennonite was able to do early on successfully. But in that last scoring run by the Knights, they were able to close that down a little bit and prevent Eastern Mennonite to have that success.
Absolutely, the Knights struggled a little bit from the field, shooting 2 of 11 from three-point land. Obviously not the numbers you want to have if you're Coach Wardenberg. They have great shooters on the team. They have Amanda Wood. They have Alexis Barnes. They have Dawn Mead, who's averaging around 44% on the season for 3. So they have the shooters and the capabilities to shoot well from the 3, just not able to find it tonight.
Right, absolutely. That just comes with rhythm. I mean, as the game goes on, you'll get a couple more here and there on an off night. I mean, it's just how shooting works. There's some nights where you're hitting everything, and those are the nights that you remember all the time, like, oh, that night I'm hitting like 9 of 10 from 3. But there's nights like this where you just have to find out what else works. You have to figure out where else you can hit a shot from. What are your other consistent spots? That's why as a shooter, you got to be able to have a variety, have a big arsenal to pick from besides just one thing, like three-point shooting.
Absolutely. We've seen some great players for the Knights step up in this poor shooting streak. They've had Brindy Ballum doing an excellent job with driving in and finding Katie Garish. Really, Katie Garish being the focal point of the Knights offense so far, and also the Knights defense. When she's out, there's a noticeable lack in defense in the paint when the Knights have it. When the Royals are on offense and Katie Garish isn't in the game, they drive toward the paint, they give it to Washington, usually put it up, and will get a second chance point. And just the Knights need to really buckle down on that. They need to find a way to have Katie Garish out of the game to get her those minutes on the bench to just catch a breather, but also stay potent on defense.
And one thing the Royals need to do is make sure they don't turn the ball over as much in this second half. The first half, the Knights had 8 steals, and they averaged only about 12 a game, and so if they keep that up, they can go well above their average. And so that's bad news for the Royals. And so what that means for this Eastern Mennonite team is you have to take care of the ball. They've been trying these long passes to get the ball down court, but as we mentioned before, Corey Stout all over that, having a couple of what I'd like to call interceptions, just because, football is another thing that I just love. Anyway, she's just very good at finding that ball in the air and taking it and running with it and getting those fast break points for the Knights.
Absolutely, fast break points have been a staple for the Knights so far. Knights have 10 turnovers on the half, but also the Royals have 15. So some great defensive plays being showed by both teams. Don't know if it's sloppy offense or great defense. I think it's the latter. I think it's great defense. Like you said, Corey Stout really coming out of nowhere for at least 3 attempts to steal the ball right out of the air and get fast break points for the Knights. Also, the Royals doing a great job with that. We saw Waddy picking up a number of steals from the point guard of the Knights, and just both teams doing a great job with their transition offense. And transition defense has been a little bit of a problem for both teams, but we'll see what happens in the second half. We'll see if Coach Adam Wernerberg instilled that championship mentality into his girls that they always talked about.
Well, absolutely. And we talk about fat transition, transition offense. It's been tough for the Knights as well. Talk about shooting from outside of the paint, but layups have also been a problem too. And we've seen some missed layups from Katie Garish. We've seen some from Ballum. We've seen some from Alexis Barnes. It's made it tough. And then also those shooters like Amanda Wood, she's only shot the ball 3 times. And she's one of those people that they really go to for those shots whenever Katie Garish is being double covered.
Absolutely. Transition points and half-court offense woes have been the main storyline for both teams during that first half. We're going to take a little bit of a break right now. We thank you so much for joining us on the Knights Sports Network, and we'll come back when the action starts. Welcome back to the Knight Arena as the Knights of Southern Virginia lead the Royals of Eastern Mennonite University 31-27. I'm Chris Fly along with Dawson Wiedrich. At the start of this second half, about to begin, both teams having a little bit of trouble on offense, but really shown great prowess on the defensive side, Dawson.
Absolutely. It's what you have to turn to if you're not going to play good offensive basketball. I mean, you got to make sure they don't make offense easy for the other team, and that's exactly what both teams are doing tonight.
Absolutely. Now we see the Knights on offense. Great move by Dawn Mead there. Split two defenders, and the Knights will be on offense. Double team brought on Mead. She'll have the ball stripped of her. This is Washington on the fast break. Washington goes up, and the foul call will be against Savannah Christensen.
And we saw Eastern Mennonite do that a couple times in the first half where they'd all of a sudden bring a double team on somebody. That time electing to make the freshman Dawn Mead their victim.
Second foul of the night on Christensen. It'll send Washington to the line. See what she does on her first attempt. Able to convert the first. Second one rattles in. It'll bring the score to 31-29. Knights still ahead.
And again, this press defense we're seeing here. And the double team again.
Alexis Barnes, corner three. No good. Rebounded by Christensen and put up off the window for two.
A good foul by Christensen, able to shoot as soon as she gets it. Great eyes to see that offensive rebound opportunity.
Great way to crash the boards from Christensen, and it results in 2 points for the Knights. The Royals looking to make up some ground here. Corner three, no good. Rebounded by Garish. That shot was taken by number 2, Lindsay Krisak, leading scorer tonight for the Royals. Alexis Barnes drives in the paint. She'll be fouled on the way to the basket. Or instead to be a charge call against Alexis Barnes. Thought it was a defensive foul, but referee saw otherwise. Charge call against Barnes, her first of the night.
Yeah, Barnes just having a tough time tonight. She only has 2 points. She's 1 of 6 from the floor. She's 0 for 3 from three-point land. And basically she just had to rely on her athleticism for defense, like everybody else has had to tonight.
Royals with the ball now. This is Washington with a quick drive. Blocked by Garish.
That gives the Knights a total of 6 blocks, and I wouldn't be surprised if 4 of them were from Katie Garish.
Absolutely great defensive showing from Garish, not allowing anything on the paint, trying to get the ball into her there on the low block, knocked out of bounds by Royals number 13, Washington. Christensen corner three. No good. Rebounded by the Royals.
You saw number 22 there, Lexi Deffenbaugh, slapping it out of the hands of Ballum. That was a good defensive rebound effort there.
Really was, especially when straight to the leading scorer of the Royals, number 2, Krisak. But now the Knights have an opportunity on offense. This is Dawn Mead. Mead having the ball knocked away from her by Krisak, but it'll go off the hands of Mead last. It'll belong to the Royals.
I think Dawn Mead was thinking that Brittany Ballum was going to come around behind. She's going to do a little handoff. When that didn't happen, it kind of confused her. Therefore, she had to change up her dribble a little bit and ended up going off her foot.
Deffenbaugh with the ball now. Finds it on the corner. 3 no good. Shot by number 15, Emily McCombs. Rebounded by Alexis Barnes. Knights on offense now. Ball stripped from Mead. Be a foul call against Dawn Mead.
Yeah, so far, like we said, they're just kind of targeting the freshman point guard right now, realizing her inexperience and trying to exploit that so far. Doing a good job of it.
Absolutely have, and Dawn Mead not showing too much inexperience throughout the season, really has been steady at that point guard position, knowing what to do at all times and just doing a really great job. Just see another quick 3 there by the Royals. That was shot by number 22, Lexi Deffenbaugh. It'll bring the score 33-32. Christensen's pass is tipped, but Christensen's able to regain position. Pass into Ballum. Ballum into the paint. Off the window for 2.
And that gives Brittany Ballum 10 points on the night, evening up with Katie Garish.
McCombs from the corner, blocked by Mead.
We've seen some good handwork by the Royals right now as they're just getting in the way of every single pass that the Knights are throwing out there.
See a substitution for the Knights coming off the court, number 13, Dawn Mead, and coming in, number 11, Corey Stout. We see some great defensive plays by Stout throughout this game, picking balls out of the air, like you mentioned, like a free safety in football. See if she can pick up where she left off. Not what she wanted to do. And as those fast break points are scored by Deffenbaugh of the Royals, it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, Deffenbaugh now at 5 points, and she's just being impressive so far in the third quarter defensively. She's really getting in the face of both Dawn Mead and Corey Stout.
Deffenbaugh absolutely inserting herself into this second half. Stayed really quiet in that first half, had some good plays, some good role player plays, but stepped up in the first couple minutes of this second half. That last foul call was against Royals number 13, Jess Washington, her third of the game. Definitely not what the senior from Chesapeake, Virginia wanted at the start of this second half. Corey Stout with double team brought on Stout. Able to get it to Garish. Great find to find Christensen. Christensen goes up, no good. Bounced around between both teams, but picked up by Waddy of the Royals.
This Royals defense right now is just suffocating for whoever has the ball in the Knights offense.
3-point shot and made by number 23, Lexi Dean. And instead, I think that was only for 2, a long 2. It'll give the Royals the lead.
Yeah, she stepped over the line a little bit there as she stepped into her shot.
Great find by Barnes to Garish, and Garish goes up trying to get it in the basket, but should be fouled, sent to the line for 2.
Yeah, Garish had number 11, Kiana Childress, right in front of her, and so Alexis Barnes just said, hey, you're taller than her, go get this.
That's Childress' second foul of the night. It'll send Barnes to the line. Garish, rather, than Barnes. Garish with the opportunity for 2 at the line to regain the lead for the Knights. First shot is no good. Now some substitutes coming in for the Royals, coming back to the game. Leading scorer on the season, number 15, Emily McCombs. Leaving the court, interestingly enough, was Deffenbaugh. She's done really great in the opening minutes, but Coach Jenny Logan giving her a little bit of a breather. As Garish goes 0 from 2 from the line, score stays the same. Now the Royals on offense.
Yeah, Garish has kind of struggled from the line now, making her 2 of 6.
Royals on offense. This is Childress. Ball stripped by Christensen. Now the Knights on offense.
And again, interesting, as you said, to see Deffenbaugh leave. Now that she's gone, that you don't see as much energy and swarm power as they had on defense, at least for the Royals early on.
Stout tried to bring it in, but is blocked, but she gains her own rebound, looking for Barnes. Barnes passes it out to Christensen. Christensen with a corner 3. Got it!
Finally starting to see that 3-point line starting to warm up a little bit here for this Knights offense.
Great play by Alexis Barnes to find that pass deep in the corner when she was swarmed by Royals.
That gives her her 4th assist of the night.
Royals on offense. This is McCombs. Quick shot in by Dean, no good. Rebounded by the Knights.
That was Christensen's 5th rebound. She now has 8 points, 5 rebounds. She could very easily have a double-double herself.
Absolutely. Did you see the double-double machine of the season? Katie Garish picking up another 2 points.
Making it 12 on the night with 14 rebounds.
Monster numbers being put up by Katie Garish so far in this game. Royals just have no answer for her. Now Garish present its felt yet again as she pokes the ball loose from number 21 of the Royals, Jordan Friend. Pokes it out of her hands, and the ball will belong to the Knights after this media timeout.
And we're talking about how tight of a game this has been, how tight of the game the first time around was between these two teams. The main thing that separates them right now, interestingly enough, first quarter, both teams scored 19 points. Second quarter, SVU kind of pulled away with 12 points while Eastern Mennonite only had 8. In this third quarter, both teams have 9. And so that 4-point difference in the second quarter is exactly the difference right now.
Absolutely, the Knights really buckling down. Not too many second chance points for the Royals so far. Buckled down on defense with getting those defensive rebounds and not allowing the Royals to get in and get better position and get second chance points.
Yeah, they're now out-rebounding them total-wise anyway. 32-22 by 10 rebounds, doing a much better job at closing out, boxing out defenders, or at least offensive players anyway, like you just said, preventing second chance rebounds for the Royals.
Overheard Coach Adam Werderberg talking to his girls, hey, we're starting to make our shots now, so don't be afraid to pull the trigger. Really struggled from 3 in the first half, shooting 2 of 11, but maybe a different storyline in this second half.
Also could be, and we also heard him close his huddle by saying, 1, 2, 3 champions, the thing that he's been preaching them the whole year, the thing that girls have really bought into so far and are buying into right now as they have this lead.
The Knights really close to turning the ball over there. Looking for the quick, almost full court pass, broken up by one of the Royals, but luckily enough for the Knights, goes out of bounds. They'll maintain possession.
Yeah, Christensen knew that was a bad pass when she threw it. That's just way too far, way too much can happen in that amount of space.
This is Amanda Wood. Passes it to Stout now. Christensen with a 3. No good. Rebounded by Wood. Put back up by Wood. Blocked it. Put up again by Wood. Garish able to get the offensive rebound. And she'll be sent to the line to shoot 2. That foul on number 15, Emily McCombs of the Royals.
They had 3 rebounds in that offensive possession alone. That's second chance reason why Katie Garish is at the line in the first place.
And 2 of those offensive rebounds coming from Amanda Wood, so not the likely suspect for offensive rebounds on this Knights team. But just a great showing from Wood, and Garish able to convert on her first shot. And that's 3 fouls on McComb. So the leading scorer for the Royals this season, 3 fouls on this game. Coach Jenny Logan keeping her in for the time being with around 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in this third period.
And McCombs, again, like you said, leading scorer for the season, is still scoreless in this game. The Knights have really locked her down and made sure that she can't get comfortable in her offense.
Garish goes 2 for 2 from the line. Knights now looking to play some defense. This ball being dribbled up by number 22, Lexi Deffenbaugh.
Look to see her have more time here in the end of this third quarter. She had such a spark defensively for the Royals.
Deffenbaugh with the ball. Wide open under the basket is Chrissy DeLauder. No one guarding that backside of the paint.
And Deffenbaugh with the awareness as she's dribbling to get that pass off. Very impressive.
Brindy Ballum fouled on the play. That foul's on number 2, Lindsay Krisak. Her second of the night.
Coach Warrenberg was just clearing up if it was the 4th or 5th foul of the quarter.
In by ball, Amanda Wood. Quick corner 3. No good. Rebounded by Krisak. Poked out of the air by Corey Stout yet again. Coming out of nowhere to intercept that ball.
Yeah, the ball landed in the hands of a bystander, and then Corey Stout just took it out of their hands and decided, hey, I don't know if it's called out of bounds. I'm going to go with this.
Corey Stout just always has the urge to steal the ball no matter who has it. Deep 3 from Deffenbaugh, and sheds good from way downtown.
Goodness gracious, that was almost near the NCAA logo.
Double team is brought now that Deffenbaugh is back in the game, but wide open. Alexis Barnes down to the paint. Great spin move and off the glass for 2.
Great way to clear up some space, get underneath the defense right there and get that layup.
Leading scorer for the Royals, Washington from the elbow, no good. Ball belongs to the Knights.
Some great defense by Katie Garish there. She might not have gotten the block, but she affected it just enough to make it an air ball.
Knights on offense now. This is Barnes. Great pass by Wood into Garish, but not able to corral it. It'll be turned over. It'll belong to the Royals. Now a fast break opportunity. Great steal there by Brindy Ballum. Absolutely read Kamara's pass.
And the athleticism to throw it right back into the court of play.
And right on the other end there, Corey Stout just heaving up a two from the elbow. And it finds its way in. Knights up 46-41.
You can tell her reaction after that shot. She doesn't normally shoot that. She jogged back. She looked at the bench, kind of covered her mouth. She was laughing a little bit. Knew that wasn't normally her shot, but it went in.
Ball turned over by the Royals. Now belong to the Knights. Now see Brindy Ballon making her way to the bench for Coach Adam Wurdenberg to have a word with her, and in her stead, Savannah Christensen rather. Three from Wood. No good. Rebounded by Garish. Garish looking for Stout. Instead, found the Royals. This is Deffenbaugh. Great steal by Christensen. The Knights on offense yet again. Barnes with a corner three. Got it!
That's her first 3-point made of the night. She was 0 for 3 at that point. Now 1 for 4 with 7 points.
Now we have immediate timeout. Knights going on a little bit of a scoring run, finding their range from 3.
And more importantly, I mean, it's not like they're going in that much more often. Granted, now they have 4 of 18 from the 3-point line. It's that they're getting more confident. You know, they're starting to see it more and more consistently. And so they're not afraid to pull that trigger like Coach Warrenberg was telling them that last time out.
Absolutely not. We've seen some great offensive possessions from the Knights so far, but really great work on defense. Except with the exception of that one play where DeLauder was wide open on the backside of the paint. The Knights have played exceptionally on defense. They've forced turnovers. Corey Stout has done an amazing job, as she always does, of getting to those wide open passes. The Knights have really shown up here in the second half.
Yeah, they really have. And again, it's from the spark plug, Corey Stout. As soon as she comes in, she adds a level of energy that very few players can add. I mean, it's a gift, really. No matter how much you want to, unless you have that gift, you don't really add that much energy into it. Corey Stout has that. She just adds so much defensively, adds to the flow of the offense. She just has that experience that is added in there.
Absolutely does. And more importantly, Dawson, I think she raises the level of play of those around her. She brings her teammates up to another level of basketball. We'll see if that level can be maintained here on defense by the Knights. So now the Royals have an opportunity on offense. This is Deffenbaugh. Quick shot by Kamara. Good from the elbow. That's 2.
Even with Katie Garish in her face, she did a great job getting up there and making that shot.
Alexis Barnes for 3. No good. Rebounded by Garish. The putback no good, but Knights have another opportunity here. Picked up by Alexis Barnes. Coach Adam Wurdenberg telling Corey Stout, slow down. Run our offense, play our basketball.
Not much time separating the shot and game clock right now.
Ball to Alexis Barnes now. Back up to Stout. Amanda Wood for 3. Got it! Royals not able to get a hand on it to get a final shot. Third quarter ends. Knights up 52-43. Great late quarter surge by the Knights.
Yeah, absolutely. That shooting, just doing such a great job of getting those shots consistently and so open to make it.
And with a little bit more there on that first half, we'll toss it to Kashawn Cottle. Kashawn, what do you have?
Hey guys, as we head into the fourth quarter, and as the Knights try to close out this game, we are on the lookout for 2 things going to the fourth. Those are turnovers and points in the paint. The Knights currently have 17 turnovers, which are limiting their scoring opportunities. If the Knights are able to limit their turnovers, they'll be able to increase their scoring opportunities and be able to add to their lead. The Knights also have 20 points in the paint, which is well below the season average. If the Knights plan on winning this game, they have to continue to force inside and create more scoring opportunities for Katie Garish and Savannah Christensen. And one more side note, expect senior guard Alexis Barnes to step up big for the Knights in the fourth, and expect her to be a key contributor for the Knights in the fourth quarter to help them seal this victory. Dawson, Chris, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kashawn, for that great insight. Knights up 9 points here at the start of the fourth quarter. Found their shooting streak from deep. Dawson, it looks like it's only up from here for the Knights.
Absolutely. This match is their largest lead of the night. It's the one they had in the first quarter where they were up by 9, and then the Royals went on a little run to bring it within 1. Again, like you said, the Knights starting to find their rhythm from the three-point line, really starting to get comfortable out there and finding those open shots. Before, I felt like they were just kind of rushing their shots a little bit, and that's why they're a little bit too strong. But now they're getting comfortable, they're setting their feet and getting comfortable shots.
Interesting to see no Katie Garish in for the Knights so far. In instead is Malia Dye and Savannah Christensen down on the low blocks. Ball immediately comes into Dean. Washington with a great pass, finding number 15. That is Emily McCombs.
Emily McCombs finally gets on the board with a nice backside cut.
Pass from Christensen blocked by Washington, but picked up again by Barnes. Coach Adam Wernerberg slowing down his girls. Corey Stout. Corey Stout with the ball again. Alexis Barnes thought about the three instead, tried to find Savannah Christensen. Goes out of bounds off the hands of Dean. It'll belong to the Knights.
She had a good idea there, just a little bit too high of a pass. Had two post players in there that could have gotten to it.
Christensen with the corner three. No good. Rebounded by Barnes. Now picked up again by Christensen. Christensen deep three. Got it!
She wanted that so bad. After she missed that last three, she's like, you know what? I can make it. Give it to me again.
Knights have their largest lead of the night with 10 points. Now the Royals on offense. This is McCombs. McCombs from deep. That one no good. Rebounded by the Knights. Be a foul call here against the Royals. Number 11, Kiana Childress.
Yeah, Brittany Ballum doing a great job at going for that rebound, coming down with it. Even though she's arguably one of the shorter girls on the floor, she fought hard enough to go up and bring it down.
That's the third foul on Childress. She's immediately taken out and Deffenbaugh put back in. Pass a little bit too far away for Dye. Royals on offense now. Kresak for three. No good off front iron. Picked up by Deffenbaugh though. Royals have a second chance opportunity here on offense. This is Kresak.
Great effort from Ballum to dive for that pass, then to get right back up and cover the point guard.
Washington able to drive in on Barnes for the easy deuce.
They're trying to corral Corey Stout into a little trap on the near side.
And it's worked so far. An absolute amazing save and steal for number 23, Lexi Dean. Deffenbaugh to Dean. Dean goes up for two. That'll bring the score 55-49.
Starting to see a little bit of a run like Eastern Mennonite did in that first quarter.
The pressure for the Knights seeming too much. The Royals have yet another fast break opportunity. McCombs for three. That's good.
And you're seeing that suffocating defense that you saw at the beginning of the third quarter yet again. That's throwing this Knights offense off. And just like that, a lead that was just 10 moments ago is now only 3.
Ballum into the paint. She puts it up off the window for two. It's an and one for the Knights. That might be the spark that the Knights needed.
That was a little scoop-de-loop. She's going in there in the paint where with her height she doesn't have any business being in. But she goes up in there, loops it up through the arms of the defenders, up off the backboard. Nice layup by Brittany Ballum.
An absolute circus shot by Ballum. See if she can convert on the shot here. Free throw is good. That's an and one converted for the Knights.
I would even go as far as to describe that Brittany Ballum layup like a Manu Ginobili type of layup, you know. back in his glory days, he would just go up and under, and even in his older days, he would do that. And so Brittany Baum summoning in her inner Manu, I'd say.
And that'll bring the Knights up by 6, trying to regain that lead that they had just moments ago. Quick 3 by Kresak. That one no good, but rebounded by DeLauder and put back up for 2. Knights now only up by 4.
This is a great response from this Royals team after the shooting streak that the Knights went on.
Ball stolen by the Royals yet again. Fast break opportunity. This is Childress. Childress goes up on Stout. No foul call. Picked up again by the Royals. Fans here at the Knight Arena not happy with that no call.
I am very surprised that there was nothing called because Corey Stout had her feet set. She was standing there and got knocked to the ground pretty hard. And so the fact that they didn't even call, like, maybe even a block or anything for that matter is a complete surprise to me.
Absolutely, and that no call led to the deep bomb from Defenball to bring the Royals within 1. Lead that was there moments ago, no longer present for the Knights. After some great shooting by the Royals, especially Defenball.
Again, I'm still in shock that wasn't called earlier.
This is Defenball with the ball. Waddy drives in. Shot no good. Rebounded by Christensen. Christensen able to stay in bounds. Knights on the fast break. Up to Katie Garrish, off the window for 2. Great pass by Corey Stout.
Some great deep court passing made it very easy for Katie Garrish to get that open layup.
Now we see the Royals on offense. Knights up by 3. This is Defenball, the hot hand right now for the Royals. Waddy drives in. 3 by Childress. No good.
And we're talking about the scoring run by the Royals. We were talking about Defenball, and she so far is 3 for 3 from 3-point range. She's absolutely perfect from there, and they need to get their hands on her, but the Knights responding really well.
It's a shootout here in Buena Vista. Both teams finding their range from 3. Amanda Wood with the latest one there. Bring the score, Knights 63, Royals 57.
In fact, Defenball is perfect from shooting overall. She's 4 for 4 from the floor, 3 for 3 from 3-point land, and with 11 points. My goodness.
Lexi Defenball leading the scoring for the Royals so far. And like you said, Dawson, perfect shooting on the night. 100%, doesn't get any better than that. If you're Coach Jenny Logan, you need to keep feeding that hot hand. And if you're Coach Adam Werberg, you need to slow that down, need to slow it down quickly, because if she keeps going the way she's going, it's going to get out of hand.
Well, the difficult thing about Defenball is that she's also very quick, very athletic, so if you close out too much, she's going to have an easy drive and kick out to an open shooter. So you need to have your most athletic defender on her, probably the quickest, maybe Alexis Barnes or Corey Stout, however you want to approach that as far as either athleticism or speed is concerned.
We've mentioned a lot of great play from Defenball of the Royals, but what about the great play we've seen so far in this game by Katie Garrish? 16 points on the night, 17 rebounds, Dawson. She's been a monster on the boards.
Absolutely, she has. She's just, I mean, if you're the tallest girl out there, I mean, granted, you should have that many rebounds, but at the same time, it's impressive she's been able to fight for all of that because, again, there's so much that you can do as a short person to take advantage of that and get underneath and box out, but she hasn't let that happen in this game.
Royals will restart after the break on offense. Defenball inbounding the ball. Gets it into Waddy. Washington trying to get it into Dean. Got it somehow up, but it goes off the front iron.
Gives Katie Garrish her 18th rebound now.
Knights on offense. This is Ballum. Amanda Wood from 3. No good. Rebounded by Washington of the Royals.
Coach Warrenberg wanting a foul there because number 13, Jess Washington, had her elbow around Balaam, but she didn't end up using it.
And Corey Stout making her presence felt yet again on the defensive side, disrupting that pass and forcing the turnover.
Starting to see that trapping formed by the Royals again, but Corey Stout going right through it.
Christensen from 3. No good, off the back iron. Rebounded by Waddy of the Royals. Royals on offense. McCombs, good 2.
You know, it's the difference between having a hot hand and shooting three-pointers and making them, and just going off and shooting 4 three-pointers in a row. You can't be doing that, especially when you have Katie Garish having the night that she's having.
Knights able to regain possession here. Pass in to Garish. Garish not able to corral that ball in. It'll go off her hands and belong to the Royals. Knights doing their best of trying to get the ball into Garish. So many people on her at this point, it's harder for her to get her hands on it.
We're talking about all these scores for the Knights. We have 3 Knights in double digits. Katie Garish with 16, Brittany Ballum with 13, and Savannah Christensen with 11.
Travel call here against number 13 of the Royals, Jess Washington. Senior from Chesapeake, Virginia, with the travel call on the turnover.
Yeah, Washington's not happy with that call. She felt like she did move her pivot foot, but the ref saw otherwise.
Full court press being brought here by the Royals of Eastern Mennonite.
Got out of that middle flasher.
Knights read it all the way. Pass from Stout, trying to get it into Ballum. Ballum able to save it back in, but picked up by the Royals. Washington, now to Kresak.
Almost kind of looked like Corey Stout wanted to give an alley-oop to Ballum.
Great pass in from Waddy into Washington. That's an easy 2. It's a 2-point game. Great pass from Garish into Ballum. Ballum fouled on the play. That foul on number 5, Chrissy DeLauder. It'll send Ballum to the line.
Sorry about that, Chris. Yeah, DeLauder just trying to go over top of her and use her body against her, but that ended up being a foul with the body.
That's DeLauder's first foul on the night. See what Ballum can do from the foul line. Can't convert on the first. Around 3 minutes left to go here in this game. Knights only have a 2-point lead. Second one falls for Ballum, though.
Free throws for the Knights haven't been very automatic for them. They are right now 11 of 17 for 65% from free throw line. Yes, you're grateful you made the ones you have, but that's not a good percentage if you want to keep this lead, which they just now are tied.
And Kresak's 3 brings this game level, 64-64. Corey Stout trying to break the double team. She goes up. No good. Rebounded by Garish. Kicked back out to Wood. Wood with a 3. No good. In and out. So close from Wood.
Those are the ones that just break your heart as a three-point shooter. It looks so good, and it even rolls in a little bit, but it just decides, no, I'm going out.
It'll keep this game level, 64-64. Things getting interesting here at the Knight Arena. 3 from McCombs. No good. Rebounded by Christensen. You see the Royals feeding the ball a lot to McCombs here.
Yeah, they really are. And both teams, as good as the Knights start shooting from three-point range in this second half, the Royals overall have had tremendous luck. They have 40% from a three-point line. And so trying to play off of that with Emma McCombs, who again is still limited pretty significantly here today. In fact, see over here, McCombs only has 7 points compared to her 11-point average. Then again, there's still a minute and a half left to play, but she's been very limited in this game.
After that Knights turnover, the Royals have an opportunity to take the lead with a minute and a half left to go in this game. Pass from Kresak looking for Dean. No one there. Knights ball. Corey Stout's long pass looking for Wood. She'll find her.
Very dangerous pass. There was 2 defenders right there that could have easily taken it away. It was fortunate that Ballum came up with it.
Entering the last minute of the game now, 64-64. Wood with the ball. Wood heave one's up. No good, and it'll roll out of bounds.
She's trying to beat the shot clock, but just was reacted a little too hastily as the shot clock was a second behind what she thought it was.
Amanda Wood making her way to the sideline. And in her stead, senior guard Alexis Barnes. Crucial defensive possession for the Knights here. They need to hold the Royals off. Kresak with the ball, finds the hot hand.
Yeah, they have Corey Stout on deaf end ball. You see the Knights switch on screens now.
Gets the ball into Dean, a little up and under, no good. Knights have an opportunity with 25 seconds left to go.
There is no shot clock at this point.
Timeout taken by Coach Adam Wardenberg. He needs to draw up a play for his team here. They need to take this lead.
They absolutely do. They need to pick their shot, a smart shot selection. And honestly, if I'm the Knights, I'm not looking for a three. I'm looking for an in-the-paint feed to Katie Garish, like we've said this entire time. Three-pointers, as good as they did early on in the fourth quarter and later on in the third, they aren't falling right now. That's just not happening. That hasn't been going off the past 5 or 6 minutes or so. And so you need to go with what you know has a better chance of going in. And again, that's Katie Garish.
Absolutely trying to bank this game on the high percentage shots. And even if Garish were to miss it, she has such an opportunity to grab the offensive rebound. She has 16 points on the game, hasn't scored in a little bit, but she has 19 rebounds. So if there's a person you want the ball in the hands of, it's Katie Garish. She can get that high quality shot, and even if she misses, she'll have another chance.
And Coach Warrenberg also subbing in Amanda Wood, one of their, most of the time pretty consistent shooters. And so he wants all the people that are capable of making last second shot out there.
Absolutely, it's crunch time now for the Knights with 20 seconds left to go in this game. 64-64. Interesting to see what Coach Adam Wardenberg drew up for his girls. Clipboard is out. Let's see if the play can pay dividend.
Yeah, again, if I'm Coach Warrenberg, I'm thinking Katie Garish, but maybe like a high post look to Savannah Christensen to get an easier look.
Ball passed in immediately. Corey Stout, and that double team was brought by Washington and Deffenbaugh, forcing Coach Adam Wardenberg to take yet another timeout.
Now, Coach Warrenberg wanted to see what defensive approach that Eastern Mennonite would take. And like he suspected, there was a double team against Corey Stout. And that's going to make things a little complicated for the Knights, setting up a nice play with just 16 seconds left.
Absolutely, and now shot clock is turned off. 16.2 seconds left to go in this game. And that would be it. Knights inbounding the ball. Here we'll see what they do on this inbound play. Inbounding the ball is Amanda Wood.
We're seeing a little stack here.
Ball comes into Stout. Game time for the Knights. Met with a double team. Wood able to get it, forcing yet another timeout from Coach Adam Wardenberg. Double team on Stout, and as soon as Wood got the ball, Dean all over.
I like this approach that Coach Warrenberg is taking. Whenever he sees his girls get in a situation that he does not like, that he feels like is a possible turnover situation, he's going to call timeout, get them out of it. I mean, that is your last timeout. And so with 6 seconds left, you have a better chance of not turning the ball over and giving them an opportunity to score down on the other side.
Perhaps, Dawson, what he's doing, he was wasting that time to ensure that his girls had the last shot of the game. He wants the game in his hands, not the Royals.
Absolutely, wants to leave it in the hands of his offense and not have that anxiety of making it depend on your defense.
Stout inbounding the ball here. Pass in to Savannah Christensen. Christensen goes up. It's good! Christensen with a turnaround J. 3 seconds left to go here in this game. Timeout taken by Jenny Logan.
Oh my goodness! She stepped back, faded away. And what's interesting is she got in trouble earlier in the game for doing a very similar shot. And with that shot, possibly winning the game for the Knights. Oh my goodness. I'm just speechless right now.
Absolutely clutch play from Christensen. Haven't seen too much of her on the offensive side. Able to turn around a defender in the face. I believe the defender was Jess Washington, who's been formidable on the defensive side. Able to turn around, pop up Jay, got it for two. Knights up 66-64. That's exactly what Coach Wardenberg wanted. Design play, clutch play from Wardenberg, and especially from Christensen.
Absolutely. Now what the Knights need to make sure is that they're very disciplined on screens defensively. Make sure that no matter what, they're switching and they're making sure that everybody is covered. They don't want any slip-ups in the offense or in the defense like they had early on the third quarter with that wide open play that they let up earlier.
3.8 seconds left on the clock. 3.8 seconds between Coach Adam Wurtenberg hitting his girls and victory. See if the Knights can hold up on defense.
Another great thing that I really like about this Knights team and Coach Wurtenberg is their communication. The girls will tell him, this is what we see. And he's like, okay, I'll give you a play that corresponds to what you are seeing right now as a player. I'm trusting you to know what's going on.
Katie Garris defending the inbound, all 6'3" of her. Pass comes in, this is Devenbaugh for three, blocked by Stout. It will go out of bounds with 1.1 seconds left to go in the game.
One of the refs was saying that it was out of bounds on Eastern Mennonite. And so now they're changing it so that it's Royals ball again.
1.1 seconds left to go. Great showing there by Corey Stout. Clutch defensive play to get the block on Devenbaugh. And I think that's Devenbaugh's first miss of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that defending the three, that was almost kind of scary there. There are some refs who wouldn't be scared of calling a foul on that, which would put Devenbaugh at the line to shoot 3 free throws and possibly take that lead. But instead, Corey Stout got all ball and defended that three and got that block.
Absolutely, Coach Wurtenberg and Corey Stout taking the risk there, risking the foul, but gaining the reward. Great play by Corey Stout on the defensive side. Still 1.1 seconds left to go in this game. Anything can happen. We'll see what they have in plan.
And again, with just above a second left, you're not going to get anything very clean. You have to get off something very fast to fear the Royals. Possibly a screen that goes to the corner, or passing it above, or maybe to the post even.
Devenbaugh inbounding. Comes into Chrisak. No good. Knights win off the turnaround J from Savannah Christensen. 66-64 over the Royals of Eastern Mennonite.
The first one was fun and tight, 75-70. This one is tight, 66-64. And it went down to Savannah Christensen making that fadeaway jumper just with 3.8 seconds left. This is an exciting one to watch, to say the least.
Absolutely clutch performance from the Knights, and Coach Adam Wurtenberg able to use his timeouts towards the end of that game to not give the Royals enough time to score. Put faith in Savannah Christensen, and it paid great dividends as they come out with a win.
And you're seeing the Knights team do their traditional run around the gym, giving high fives to everybody that were in attendance, thanking everybody for coming. And I tell you what, this crowd was definitely involved in this one, especially late in those last few seconds.
No better fans than Knights fans. You can bet all it's worth. They played a role in tonight's victory.
Great job. We just saw Coach Wurtenberg come across us. He's going to be with Kashawn just here in a second.
Kashawn Caldwell standing along with Coach Adam Wurtenberg. Kashawn, what do you have for us?
Coach, what a game. Walk us through what you said to your team in that last time out before Savannah Christian hit that game-winning shot.
Our biggest thing was, hey, you know what? We're playing really good right now. And we just got to execute, okay? We've been working on our end-of-game stuff for 4 or 5 weeks now. We know how to win. We just got to come out and do the right thing, and we did.
In terms of momentum, how important is this game going to be for you guys moving forward for the rest of the season?
It's going to be huge. It puts us at 6-1 right now. Quite honestly, if we were in the ODAC, we'd be 4-0 and in first place. But unfortunately, we don't play in the ODAC, so we got to continue to build up, continue to get better, and continue to do what we're doing.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. Go enjoy it. Katie, congratulations on the win. You had 16 points and 19 rebounds. What's making you so effective so far in the season?
So far in the season? I think it's Coach Adam. He pushes us every day, makes us be our best, and that honestly makes a big difference in our game, obviously. So.
On that last possession, were you expecting that shot to go in?
You know, I trust my teammates, so of course I did, yeah.
Congratulations on the win, Katie. Go enjoy it. Man, what a shot. Just walk us through what you were thinking on that last possession.
I wasn't really thinking. I was just trying to post up, and I think it was like one of the bigger posts. Was it the taller one? Yeah, I was just trying to shoot it over her arms, and hopefully it went in, and it did.
Man, you also had 13 points to go along with 9 rebounds. Just like I asked Katie, what's making you so effective so far in the year?
Coach just says crash the boards, and I crash, and he says when you're open, shoot it, and that's what, I just try to listen to him, and it's working.
Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to right now?
Family? I don't know. Hi, Mom.
Congrats on the win, man. Go enjoy it. Dawson, Chris, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kashawn. Great work by Coach Adam Werderberg, Katie Garrix, and Savannah Christensen. Congratulations on that great win. Great shot. Dawson, great showing by the Knights against Eastern Mennonite University. Great clutch play. Just a great all-around day to be a Knight.
I tell you what else was great, that cameo of Coach Wardenberg's daughter in his interview. He's a great guy, a father of 3 beautiful daughters, and he just did a great job. That last shot where he coached his players had 3 timeouts to waste that time. It's impressive to me how well that was coached, how well that situation was handled by such an experienced guy who has that championship mentality he's given to his players. Very fun game overall.
Absolutely great game, and absolutely great showing by the Knights, and great fight shown by the Royals of Eastern Mennonite, but in the end, Knights win 66-64. We thank you so much for joining us on the Knight Sports Network. I'm Chris Fly, along with Dawson Wiedrich, and on behalf of myself, Dawson Wiedrich, and the entire Knight Sports Network, we say thank you, good night, and remember, it's always a great to be a Knight.